30,000 students across 3 campuses. It does depend on the scholarship, so I did get some scholarship. Our undergraduate courses, typically in the UK, they're 3 years, but I am the bridge, for communication between the university and our partners, especially in Pakistan. We're able to create an environment where students are going to get the best experience possible. As we grow the world, we can't do that without education. English language, your documentation, your visa interviews, So I think organization is the best key skill.
Ji, Assalamualaikum. Welcome to another episode of Paragon ED podcast series. So today we welcome our guest from UK, Ms. Isabella Salem, working as a regional coordinator, Ulster University, Belfast. Welcome, Bella.
Thank you so much for having me and welcoming into the office today. It's lovely.
So Bella, how has been your visit to Pakistan?
Well, this is my second time here and I enjoy it every time. I know from a professional perspective, it's absolutely wonderful to be able to go in and meet with our partners, especially getting the likes to see our great partners at Paragon. But I have to say the food is my favorite part.
Okay, that's right. So before we get started, Bella, from US
Yes,
to UK as a destination for the study and career choice.
absolutely.
What do you think about USA and then UK from study and the career choice? Why?
Well, I mean, to be honest, growing up in the US, I had every intention to study at a US university. I joined my first year at a small university in my local city. And I wanted to do a study abroad option, but I realized the more research that I did, compared from the US to the UK, in the US, it's a 4-year bachelor's degree. In the UK, it's a 3-year degree. Same with master's degree, 2 years versus 1 year. So I knew that in terms of timing, that I would finish my degree earlier and in terms of cost. So the US is a very money-driven market. So my tuition in the US compared to my...
You get a scholarship.
Yes, I see. Well, it does depend on the scholarship. So I did get some scholarship, but even after scholarship, I was paying nearly $40,000 a year
Oh.
for my tuition. And the university was great and everything, but the cost was just not worth it. So when I looked at my options in Spain, Germany, France, and then somehow stumbled upon Northern Ireland. And in the US, we do have connections with Ireland and heritage seekers and everything. So when I looked at the options for Northern Ireland, I found Ulster University. But not only did I realize how low the tuition cost was for each year, I realized that every single class that I would be taking from start to finish would allow me to get a job after. So it was very, very job driven, let's just say. Where in the US, your first year is basically taking what is called prerequisite classes. So I could be studying math and taking a music class that I'm paying for. But in the UK, I did communications, advertising, and marketing. And every single course that I took, every single class, was specifically geared to get me a job in marketing when I was finished.
Oh, that's nice. So let's talk about the Ulster, the Northern Ireland area. So what do you think the other cities, London, Manchester, why Northern Ireland and specifically Ulster?
Yeah,
Far.
so I'm going to be honest, the people. So, it's a very unique region, Northern Ireland. It's very rich in history and it has very new history, let's just say. So I think moving to a place where the people were so welcoming and, for a small place, the industry around it is absolutely booming. So I knew that I didn't want to study in the likes of London or Birmingham because I would get lost in the crowd.
Yeah.
I think that international students tend to stick out in Northern Ireland. So in terms of job perspectives and even just making friends and interacting with the people there, I felt that I belonged as soon as I landed, where I can't say the same for some of my friends who have studied in bigger cities.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Last year, I visited Belfast and found people very kind and humble.
It's the best part.
Very humble.
Yes,
Very
yeah.
humble and very friendly. So, what do you think about Ulster? And now you are doing a job in the Ulster.
Yes.
So, as a student and with the job holder, what do you think the difference between two different regions?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, coming up as a student and everything, I knew that I had to kind of map out a plan of where I wanted to be when I was finished. And I had no idea that a job like this even existed. So, it's very, very easy for me to sell Ulster and sell Northern Ireland because I've done everything that an international student would do start to finish. I considered the course, I considered changing countries as a 19-year-old. It's a very big decision to make. And then throughout my degree, I made myself seen. I interacted with the international community, I interacted with the local community, got involved at what the university had to offer from an academic and a social perspective. And then when it was time to get into industry, I had actually gone into medical device manufacturing.
Okay.
And I found that private sector was very boring, to be honest. Yeah. So I think I'm more of a social person, right? So you can tell I like to talk, right? So I wanted to be able to use those social skills and kind of share just what Ulster University had to offer. And when this job came up, I just knew it was the one for me. But it's very unique that I do cover the US, but my other markets like Pakistan, Turkey, and everything, Saudi, you know, I get to interact with people from all over the world. And at the end of the day, we're all just human beings, and the ability to share that in a place like Northern Ireland, it's so unique. So it makes the job easy.
Oh yeah. But what do you think about your job? Obviously, you are dealing three different countries:
Yeah, yeah,
Pakistan, Turkey, and the US, your home country. So,
absolutely.
what do you think about the difference regarding the students?
Yeah, yeah. So again, it's three very, very distinct cultures and maybe opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of culture. But it just goes to show that, you know, look at us sitting here interacting as, you know, more than just colleagues at this point. I think when I find myself in these countries, you really just do see people at a surface level. And I think from education, everybody in the world deserves equal opportunity for education. So the fact that I can go to any market and push that message, it's been very, very well received. And I think as an American especially, the opportunity to interact in different cultures is so important. And I think more people should have that opportunity as well. So it's very unique.
So, let's talk about the university. Uh, what do you think? What makes Ulster different from other universities?
Yeah. So I did say the people. So definitely I think student support. So that's a very big one. I think that, when you tend to go, our university has 30,000 students across 3 campuses, but about 25% of that is international students. And, for a country that only has 1.2 million people, that's about the would Lahore be far bigger than that? Like I'd say, yes, yeah. So, for how little of a population, our university is able to interact with its international students on a one-to-one basis. And the fact that I was recruited by a manager to the university, who is now my boss, it really goes to show how they were able to look out for me through the duration of my degree. They found me a scholarship for my master's degree, and they didn't have to do that. So it just goes to show that personal interaction that we have. And in terms of employability, I mean, that's the main thing. It ties back to the fact that all of our courses are designed for industry. So not only in Northern Ireland, but from a global perspective. We have partnerships all over the world, and you can see the way our students coming in and going out make such a difference in global industry. So, and then, the opportunity for placement years, internships, that's all provided by our university.
Yes.
And I think that's the reason I have my job today.
So now, at that time, Bella, obviously, student think less about the scholarship
Yeah, yeah.
and the accommodation and the environment and job employment ratio. So, what do you think about Ulster, the job employment ratio for the students? And because you are also alumni,
Yeah.
so what do you think about the job employment ratio in the Northern Ireland area and specifically Ulster students?
Yeah, that's a really good one. So I've been covering that a lot this week. So my mission this year basically is, as I get more familiar with the market, specifically Pakistani market, and understanding the needs of the students and where they want to end up after, my goal is to connect Ulster University students with industry in Northern Ireland. And I think we do a really good job of that. So in terms of, we have I believe 96% of our graduates find work or further study within 6 months of their graduation period. And again, all of our courses are designed with our partners in Northern Ireland. We have multinational companies from all over the world that settle in our small area. And I'd like to make the comparison to London, right?
Yeah.
So you have maybe 50 to 60 universities in London that are feeding that talent pool from all over the world. So yes, there's more opportunity, but there's far more competition. We're in Northern Ireland because it's maybe not as high of a destination that, people want to go to. Lack of awareness as well. There's less competition in the market, and because of Northern Irish and Irish students tend to maybe they leave, right? So we are crying out for international workers to come and fill these jobs. So I think in terms of the partnerships that Ulster University has, the way we prepare our students for the workforce, students are getting placed in jobs, and I'm a really good example of a job placement. Absolutely.
So, what do you think about the area and the job employment for the international students? So, as you are also or international student, what the criteria should student should pick for the international studies?
Yeah.
Either a job employment, a course, a university ranking. What do you think? Because you are also a student.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's course selection is
Course
the
selection.
most specific, especially depending on the country that you're coming from. So I think that in terms of Pakistan, the options that we have for the students, we have cybersecurity, AI,
Yeah.
data analytics, data science,
Laws,
law,
project
absolutely
management,
massive.
business.
So just perfect example, the students that come and study their LLMs,
Yeah.
it's significantly cheaper and it takes less time. And they're actually able to come back to Pakistan and practice right away. So I think it's building the bridge between what we have to offer and where we can send our students after. So definitely course selection is the main thing. Yeah.
The course selection is main thing. So, what about the scholarships?
Yeah.
There's any specific scholarships for the Pakistani students?
Yeah. So all of our international students receive an automatic scholarship of £2,000 off of every year of their studies. And in terms of academic scholarships, while I'd like to say that we offer more, the reason that we don't is because our tuition is already so low and the cost of living is so low. So we do allocate scholarships specifically for students, for international students, to give a fair chance at the opportunity for education. We also have specific scholarships like our Dean Scholarship this year, which is an extra 1,500.
Now, Ulster is also offering accommodation.
Free accommodation. Yes, yeah. So
I think it's a very big opportunity for the student.
So our free accommodation is about an £8,000 savings for the year. So it's a significant reduction in what they would have to pay. So, and the accommodation options, they're all within a 5 to 10 minute walk from the campus. In the last year, because we've seen such an influx of people moving to Belfast, we have, I think, 4 new locations next to the Belfast campus. So, and all of our international students receive priority for accommodation.
So, what do you think? What other opportunities are the universities offering other than the studies?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it would be obviously the tailored courses. You have the internship period. So, for example, our undergraduate courses, typically in the UK, they're 3 years. We offer a 4-year option. And in their third year, they would go and work for a company of their choosing for an entire year. We also offer them at our master's level as well. So it wouldn't be a full year.
You are also offering a placement in the master's
Yeah,
and in
yeah.
different
So
programs.
not all the courses, but a lot of the courses have advanced practice where they would come over, they would get an extended visa, and they would go and they would study for about 12 months. And then about 5 or 6 months after, they would go and work again for an internship for a company of their choosing. So I think that's a lot of support there. We're also able to work part-time during our studies, which is really, really important in terms of not only having a bit of, funding for the student while they're there, but in socialization. So we always encourage our international students to get out and interact with the home market, interact with other students. And I think that can be done through part-time work. We have um, specific teams on our campuses that solely interact with our international students. We help them find jobs. We take them on field trips. From the moment a student lands in September, we pick them up at the airport and bring them to their accommodation. And I just think that personal level, and I know the people who work on the teams personally, and they are so invested in supporting these students.
So, as you told, the employment ratio and the job employment for the university students. So, what do you think? How Ulster focus job market regarding the job employment for the students?
Absolutely. So I'll give you a really good example. So AI. So last, or not even, so 5 years ago, let's just say AI, no one really heard of it. No one thought that it would be literally running our businesses. Yeah. So we have a massive company in Northern Ireland called Kanos. So it's a very, very big tech firm. They came to Ulster University about 5 or so years ago and they said, we've identified a gap in the market. We think 5 years from now, AI is going to be running companies, but there's not going to be people to fill the jobs, to operate and to bridge that human and technology connection. So what did we do? We worked with Queen's in partnership and we designed a course that specifically tailors our graduates to harness AI in their companies. That course itself has a 96% employment rate after, because it was designed in industry for what Northern Ireland has to offer. So in terms of our major industries, financial tech, tourism and hospitality, accountancy, um, mechanical engineering is a massive one as well. So we hold 50% of the market share for aerospace engineering in the UK. Or in the world, sorry. So that's very impressive. For such a small area, such a small country, our industry is world leading. So
So, Bella, as we're talking about the location,
yeah,
obviously Northern Ireland. When we hit the Northern Ireland, we just go for the Europe,
yes, yeah.
and I think only the area Northern Ireland is linked with the Europe side.
Yes, absolutely. So a really good point tying it back to industry. So in terms of the wider macro level, so Northern Ireland is incredibly unique in the sense that we're the bridge between the EU and the United Kingdom. So post-Brexit, obviously that changed the way that the United Kingdom, Scotland and Wales would be able to trade with the world. And it might have backfired a little bit. We've had multinational companies pull out of the mainland because things are more expensive. There's no free trade. So sorry for them. But in terms of Northern Ireland, we're incredibly unique in the sense that we still have a free trade agreement with the EU. So multinational companies from Europe, we've seen Malaysia, massive, massive Southeast Asia. All of these companies are coming and bringing their headquarters to Northern Ireland because low taxes, free
Yes,
trade.
low taxes. The main thing is low taxes, and
Absolutely,
many
absolutely.
companies, multiple companies are there, and the international student, they have, I think, they have exposure to go there and get the jobs.
Absolutely, because you have these companies coming in that are already multinational. So they have the ability to tier two sponsor the work visas. So not only do the students have the opportunity for the postgraduate work visa, which gives them the freedom to move around, they also have much more opportunity to get a company to actually sponsor their visas.
If you talk about the job employment, students, courses, scholarships,
Yeah.
I think now the Ulster University is focusing their rankings,
Yes. Yeah.
and they are improving day by day.
Yes.
What's the reason behind this?
So I think the reason behind it is it's actually
Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, yeah.
Right now, the Ulster is very famous for Pakistani market as well.
Yes. So we were just voted Times Higher Education University of the Year. So that's a very big achievement for us. Eh, But in terms of, global ranking and everything, I think there's one thing to look overall at global ranking. I know a lot of countries, especially Pakistan, they want top 100 university in the world. However, I think we need to look at course ranking. So while we may be in the top couple hundred for overall university ranking, all of our courses have incredibly high distinct rankings. So law, we're second in the UK, engineering top 15,
Top 50
pharmacy, psychology, we are
base.
absolutely. So, we're leading in all of this. So I think it's important to consider not only the university ranking, but the actual course ranking itself. And the reason that we're increasing every year is because we know that we have the facilities, we have the funding, our students are getting jobs, and the main thing is our student satisfaction. We have nearly 100%, so 99% student satisfaction rate. And I think that's just as important as looking at uh, uh, any other ranking, to be honest.
So, Bella, as you were the student and right now you are doing a job in the university, as per your perspective, what do you think? Because you are dealing in the Pakistan market, US and Turkey. What do you think? Why the consultant is important?
Oh, they're vital. They're absolutely vital. So, I look after several markets, but my main thing is obviously I'm here to support the students, but I am the bridge, for communication between the university and our partners, especially in Pakistan. So we're very fortunate in the sense that we actually have in-country staff that directly represent our university to help liaise with our agents and with our partners. So I'll mention he's in the background here, but we have a fantastic manager named Tay.
Obviously,
Um,
he is.
Absolutely. But I think that it's important to know that not only do we have that actual regional health, but, they're here to guide the students and vet the partners and work with the partners. And I'll be honest, as a student, and agents and consultants aren't that common in the US, but I think that as a 19-year-old who had a very big decision to make, if I had a consultant to help guide me, I think things would have been a lot easier. I think the consultants are here because they know the market, they know the universities in the UK. We have our own support mechanisms in place. And I think when we all work together, we're able to create an environment where students are going to get the best experience possible. And that's because of our partners and consultants here. So absolutely vital. Yes.
It's a very basic thing, and the very basic question
Yeah.
I was asking everyone: the education is important
Yeah.
for the society or not? What do you think? The education and the skill,
Oh my
two
God.
different things.
That's very straightforward. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Why?
I mean, look at the way the world is right now. We need to educate our young people and, we need to give them the best opportunities, that we can do. We're not only going to, I think we need to build as a society internally, but we need to connect. And, as we grow the world, we can't do that without education. So absolutely vital. And this can be done through university, through work. And I just think through connecting, within the world. And international students, when they travel to different markets, they bring such a unique perspective and such a unique skill set that would absolutely be lost in a region like Northern Ireland. So,
So Bella, obviously you are also educationist. So you are working in the education sector. So dealing different market and the consultants, as you have been working in international education market, and when white paper is revolving, what is the main thing consultants should work on?
and in the students in terms of mobility, what I will say is that it's just a white paper at the moment. I think it was there to create a bit of fear
Yes.
in the market, and
Right.
I don't think that that's correct. So it could be quite some time before that actually affects the cohorts of students. So the main things the students need to work on right now is using the facilities that are available through the consultants to organize their paperwork, to get prepared. You need to consider not only what your education is going to give you, but what are you going to get out of your future? What do you want from the future? So I think organization is the best key skill in terms of all the support that the consultants have to offer. We're here to support you with your English language, your documentation, your visa interviews. There's a lot at stake, I think, but that's the reason we use our consultants. So definitely, yeah.
So what's your advice for the students to choose your career as a degree in any other university? What is your advice to students when it comes to the choice of course?
Look at the industry, look at what the drivers are, where do they maybe want to live after, if it's in the UK, if they want to come back to, let's say, Pakistan, look at the industry, but look at what interests you as well. And I think that our university does a very, very good job at connecting students' interests and connecting that industry. So, they will get the ability to focus on what comes after. I think that jobs are very important. And, we try to accommodate with the scholarships, the accommodation offerings to allow our students to not only focus on getting a job after, but you have to enjoy your experience as well. I think we don't talk about that enough. That's 4 years of a
4 years.
student's life.
Yes.
I think that from where I was as a 19-year-old, now as a 25-year-old, you change so much. And I think the ability to study abroad, especially in a place like Northern Ireland, shapes a person in a better way. So not only are the job opportunities there, but you need to enjoy the ride. Absolutely.
As we close this delightful session, Bella, what you would like to advise?
A massive country with a lot of skill sets, a lot of industry. And I think it's really, really important to consider, where do you want to go in this life? What are you interested in? And, you know, what is university going to offer you? That strategic course selection, the support that a university gives, the cost, those are all major, major decisions that a student has to make. So take the time, explore your options, and absolutely use your consultants, because they're here to guide you. I'm here to sway you to come to my university, but in reality, every student is so individual and so unique. And I think we all need to work together, and you need to consider, as a student, what do you want to get out of this life? And, university and education is going to give you that, basically give you the wings to be able to fly. And I think it's very, very important to explore all your options, consider your courses, consider the industry around you, and most of all, consider what you're interested in.
Thank you so much, Bella, for your time. It's an honor to have you. Thank you so much for watching us. मज़ीद इस तरह की इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस और पॉडकास्ट सीरीज़ के लिए हमारे साथ बने रहिए। आज के लिए इजाज़त दें। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।